Hi, certainly glad you could join me today. Today I thought we'd do just a fantastic little painting, maybe something that has sort of a desert look to it. So I tell you what, let's start out, have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. And as usual, they'll come across in the same order as I have them on my palette, starting with the white and working around. But when you set your palette up, set it up any way that's convenient to you. So tell you what, I've got my standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas up here. We've covered it with a nice thin even coat of the liquid white, and it's all wet and ready to go. So let's just have some fun today. Let's start out today with a small amount of the cad yellow. This is cadmium yellow. Very small amount, don't want much. All right, and we'll make just a beautiful little sky up here. So let's take a little bit of this yellow, and we'll just put a little right up in here, just using little crisscross strokes, just little X's, like so. Now then, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go right into a little bit of the yellow ochre. And the same thing, we'll just add a little yellow ochre here, just to give it a little flavor. Beautiful color. And we'll just let this go wherever. Anything that we don't want, we'll just cover it up so we don't worry about it. All we're doing here is just putting in some beautiful little colors. There. Maybe a little more right over in here. Okay. Now then, let's have some fun. Let me wash the old brush. That's always the highlight of this whole painting. There. Shake it off. Then just beat the devil out of it. One of these days I'm going to show you my cameramen so you'll know what they look like and you'll understand why it's so funny around here when we beat this brush. Tell you what, let's mix up a little bit of color here. Let's take some alizarin crimson. We'll get a little bit of phthalo blue. I don't want much blue. I want this to be to the red side of lavender. We'll pick it up, turn it over. Now then, it's very difficult to tell what color that is. It's very difficult. So let's put some white in it. We'll add a little white in there. Very nice. That's just what I'm looking for. There. Maybe even a little bit more crimson. Just depends on how you feel the day you paint it. Sometimes a little more to the reddish side, sometimes to the bluish side. Now let's take some of this and pull it out here into that. I'm going to add a little bright red. Make a firecracker out of it. Just let it go here. A little bit of bright red. Then we're going to take a little of that, and I'll add yellow ochre to it. So out of that one color, now we've got three different things that are happening here. We can vary back and forth and have a whole multitude of things that are happening right on the old brush here. So let's get we'll use a 2-inch brush today. What the heck? Make sure it's good and dry. And let's start in this first color of lavender. We'll just put a little paint on the brush. There we are. Just a little. Doesn't take much. Okay, let's go right up here. And maybe in our world, there lives right here just a happy little cloud. And I'm just using the corner of the brush and just sort of twisting it up, making little tiny circles. There. And just let this cloud sort of go wherever you think it should be. There we go. And all we're doing is just applying color at this point. We're going to come back and blend and bring this all together. There. But I want to make a very effective little sky, one that's bright and shiny. It makes you happy to look at it. Maybe there's a little dew that hangs down right here. Whatever. You know. Shoot, maybe he's got a little arm out here. Whatever you want. Just clouds are very free. They just sort of float around and have fun all day. And you can make all kinds of beautiful little shapes and designs. If you're like me, when I was a kid, I used to sit around and look at clouds and pick out all kinds of shapes. And when you're painting them, you can do the same thing. You can create the illusion of just all kinds of beautiful little things that are happening. There we go. But tiny little circles. Tiny little circles. There you go. Now you see why I took up painting rather than singing. Okay, maybe even a little down here. Wherever. It's a very free form of painting. Let's go over on the other side here. Put one right up in here. We don't want him left out. But I'm still just using the corner of the brush. That's all we're using here. Just the corner of the brush. There. Okay, now I'm going to go into some of those other colors that we made and just add a little bit of those different colors here and there, just to change the flavor a little. Okay. Now then, maybe in our world, maybe there's a nice little cloud that floats around right out here, wherever you think he should live. There he goes. But all we're doing is just putting in the basic shapes right now. We'll come back and blend this. So when you're doing this, if this doesn't look too hot at this point, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because we're going to make it all better. That's what my mother used to tell me when I was sick. She'd say we'd make it all better, and she always did. She always did. And even today, she still makes it all better when I don't feel well. Mothers are like it. Best people in the world. There. Okay. That would give us enough clouds to play with. We'll wash our old brush again. I just want to get even with the camera people. They hassle me. There. We got them that time. Now then, let's go right up here with a clean, dry brush and just blend. Now we're just going to begin bringing all this together. Be sure your brush is very clean and very dry. So you can blend right over the top of it, just like that. And watch how it'll come together. See there? Anything that we were worried about, now we don't have to worry about it. Just blend them together. And if you want them softer, just wind them up. Do little tiny circles like that, and it'll just blend it right into the base color, and it'll all come together. There. Just, you can pull that paint. Because this is wet, you can move color. If this was a dry canvas, you'd have a very difficult time making this work. But since it's nice and wet, it has the liquid white on the canvas, you can create these illusions. You can move paint. There. See those clouds that we were sort of worried about? Now they're very striking clouds. There we go. Now just blend this one out a little in places. Other places I'm going to leave it quite firm. So there's all types of things happening in there. There's action happening. It's not just a dead old cloud laying up here. There we go. And then very lightly, we'll just blend it all together. Isn't that a fantastic way of making a sky? Oh, it's unreal. Now then, maybe we want to add, really want to add a little sparkle to it. Let's take a little titanium white on the fan brush. Go right up here. Maybe right into here. We want to have some light. Right into this beautiful little area right here. So all you have to do is take a little white, place it in there. Shoot, who knows? Maybe there's a little showing from right up here. There. Just let it blend right on out. Like so. Now with a clean and very dry brush, we can go back in here and gently blend that out. And that'll give us a beautiful light spot in the sky. There. The paint we're using is very firm, so you can do all this blending and get away with it. If it was a soft paint, you could be in Agony City already. There we go. But didn't it make a nice little bright spot in your sky? I knew you could do that without any problem. Shoot, we're having so much fun with the fan brush. Let's just keep on with it. There we go. Let's take the color that we made the cloud of. The first color we mixed is basically just alizarin crimson, phthalo blue, a little touch of white. Grab a little more white. I want to lighten that up a little more. I'm looking for a color that's very close to the cloud color. Okay, let's go up here. You can sort of hold your brush up here and check it. If it's not just right, then you can change your mind. Let's go right in here. Maybe in our world there lives a little mountain back in here, like that. But I want this to be almost the same color as the cloud, so it just hides back in. And with this fan brush, you can put all kinds of little points and stuff on your mountain. There. Very subdued, though. Like so. There. Got to be very quiet with it. Okay, now we'll take a 2-inch brush, and I'm going to grab this and just begin pulling it. Now this is where you create the basic shape of your mountain, just with brush strokes. Brush strokes, that's the name of our newsletter. There we are. Okay, just give it a pull. Over here, we're going to sort of pull it in this direction. See how those angles are changing, though? And just by doing that, you can create the illusion of a nice little mountain that lives way back here. There. And you can go back with a little of the darker color in here and there. Put in the indication of some little things that are happening back in. Don't want too much in this one, though, because it's too far away. If you put too much in here, you're going to lose that wonderful illusion of distance. So be careful. Now at the base, if we want to create mist, let me grab another brush. I have several going here. All we do is tap, allow it to blend with the liquid white that's on the canvas, and automatically it'll create that illusion of mist. All right. Now maybe there's several layers of these. So let's have another one here. Go back into that same color, and I'm going to add the least little touch of phthalo blue to it. Least little touch. I don't want much. Not much. Just a little. Okay, let's go back up in here. Okay, let's come right in here. Maybe right here this time lives our little, there you can see it. But see, just use the corner of the fan brush and you'll be surprised at the amount of detail you can get in there. Maybe this comes down, comes right over here. I don't know, wherever you want it to go. Just drop it in. There. This reminds me of some of the beautiful scenes that I saw when I was visiting my friends in Mexico. It is beautiful there. Absolutely beautiful. If you've never been to Mexico, you really should go. Some of the most beautiful mountains I think I've ever seen, and some of the nicest people I've ever met. There, maybe we'll pull that one over a little so you can change your mind. And we'll just let it disappear right on over into here, wherever you want it. And back to our big brush, we want to grab this, pull it firmly. Think about the angles that you want in here, though. Just the brush strokes, all you need to create the illusion of some beautiful distant mountains. There. Maybe in this one it's a little closer to us. So maybe we want to put a little more detail in it. So I'll take a little bit of that same color on the fan brush, little phthalo blue and whatever we had going here. Okay, now then, maybe here and there, there's just some happy little things in here. So just put in some basic indications, then we'll come back and we'll blend them a little bit. Just think about all the little shapes and the things that are happening. And you can create all kinds of beautiful, beautiful effects. As easy as that. There. Now then, back to our big brush, and very lightly, we'll just tap and blend until we get it just the way we want it. But try this and play with it. You'll be surprised at what you can do. You'll be absolutely amazed at the effects you can achieve. And you can do it. You can do anything that you believe you can do. Anything that you believe you can do, you can do. All right. Tell you what, this is how much fun. Let's put one more range in there and then I'll quit. I just enjoy doing this. Take the same color, add a little bit more of the phthalo blue. And let's come right along in here. Maybe this one comes from right here. See, that back one now is almost to the point where you can't hardly make it out. It's almost gone. Do not want much detail back here. There, maybe the bump there, wherever you want them. Just sort of look at them. Now, if you live someplace that has beautiful mountains like this, like in Mexico or the Southwest, shoot, you can just look out your window. You have the advantage over the rest of us. Look out your window and paint some of these beautiful scenes. There we go. All we're doing here is just applying a little bit of color. A little bit of color. Now, once again, with our old big brush, grab it and pull down. Pull down. But very firmly. You're moving this paint right on the canvas. There we go. A little bit there. And wherever. Wherever. Now we can go back. Take our fan brush with some of that same color. And let's begin adding in all kinds of beautiful little details in here. There. And just pick them out. Just pick them out. And you can use the side of the fan brush or you can use it flat depending on the effect that you want. Just practice a little. And you can create beautiful things with a fan brush. You can do entire paintings with a fan brush. It's a very versatile tool. And works good too. There. Okay, maybe right over here just a little bit. All right. Back to our large brush, and very gently, just blend that a little and bring it all together. As I say, this is one of the easiest ways that I've ever seen of making this type of little mountain formation. There. Now you can continue to blend this till all these little things that you've painted in here go away and it just becomes solid again. So if you ever make a mistake and you're unhappy with it, of course we don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. But should you have something that you're unhappy with, you can just keep blending it until it goes away. It'll just go away and leave you. There we are. Okay, very soft at the base. You want it to be very, very soft. But look at the amount of distance we have here, because we have all these different planes, even up into the sky. There's a lot of different planes, and that creates that illusion of distance in your world. Shoot, we're about to cover up the whole canvas here with just sky and mountains. Let's do something down toward the bottom here. Let's take, tell you what, I want to mix up another color. One of the most beautiful browns that you can make is made from alizarin crimson and sap green in about equal parts. About equal parts. But it makes a beautiful, beautiful brown. I use it a great deal when I'm painting. There. Okay, tell you what, let me clean off the old knife. And we just wipe the knife on the paper towel. And we'll go right into that. We'll take a little bit of that color. There. And let's go right up here. Let's just paint in this. We need some nice ground areas. And we'll just paint it in. But isn't that a beautiful color? Beautiful color. And it's alizarin crimson and sap green. If you take alizarin crimson and mix it with phthalo green, then you get a beautiful black, a very transparent and beautiful black. Now maybe, I tell you what, you'd want to go back and look at these beautiful mountains back in here. And to do that, you'd need a way to get back there. You'd have to have a way to get back there. So we'll use the old fan brush. I'm going to go right into a little bit of the Van Dyke brown. Just a little. Just a little. And maybe in our world, maybe there's a road that goes back here. We'll put the road in and we'll work around it. There. But notice that it gets bigger toward the front than it is back here. That's what makes it look like it's going away. There. Okay. Maybe this is a big road. right, we'll take a big brush and let's just blend it in now. But I'm using little rocking strokes. I want this to look like an indentation. Maybe there's been some Jeeps and stuff that's went down here and built a little road. There. People had to come out and take a look at all the beautiful scenery here. Just a little indentation. And we'll just let it disappear right on back into nothing. We don't know where it goes back here. Don't know that we really care. There. And that gives us the first step of our little road. Okay. I think today you'll use a 1-inch brush. Let's go into a little bit of black, a little black, a little black. Maybe a little brown, a little alizarin crimson. There we are. Just tap a little color in there. And let's go up here, and maybe there's some nice little trees and stuff here that grow. And I'm just taking the 1-inch brush and just tapping in some very basic shape. Maybe we'll make, I think they're called smoke trees. Maybe we'll make some of those back here. All we're doing right now is putting in a little dark so our light will show. A little dark. You have to have a little dark to make the light show. And it's just like in life. If you never had any sadness in your life, then you would know the happy times when they came. That's the reason God gives us those little sad times. That way we know when we got a good one. There. All right, maybe even down in here. I don't know. We're really not committed at this point. We can put in just any old thing that we want, wherever we want it. Okay, let's go. Tell you what, maybe right here. Maybe there's a nice tree right here, big one. And a few little things that live in here. When you're doing your painting, just sort of make up little stories and put these things right in wherever you want them, wherever you think they should live. And that's where they should be. Maybe a few little things down here. There we go. All right, let's take another 1-inch brush. I have several of them going. I'm going to dip the brush into the least little amount of the liquid white. That's only to thin the paint. We'll pull out a little titanium white, reach up here, and we'll get a little bit of the phthalo blue. This is phthalo blue, little liquid white, titanium white. We'll just tap the bristles straight into that. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, let's come up here and just tap in some highlights. Just tap them in. Thinking about form and shape and all those little things. There's one back here. We just let these disappear right on back into nothing so it looks like distance. There we go. Isn't that beautiful though? There, little trees living way back in here. There's another one. Wherever you want them. Wherever you want them. There. Here's a nice one. He's a nice one. Or she. Maybe this is a she tree. Or maybe it's 2 or 3 trees. Maybe it's a whole family of trees. It's up to you. See, as you start telling little stories though, now I see a whole bunch of trees there. There's another one. Another one. There, you can just make all the trees that you want. Let's go back on the other side over here. Maybe over in here. There's one that lives right here. And another one there. Just wherever. But look at form and shape. Don't just hit it random. Wherever. There we go. And this is a very, very nice, easy, simple way of creating these little smoke trees or whatever you want to call them very effectively. We take a little lavender here and there. Maybe here and there there's a little, ooh, there's a nice one. A little lavender color. Okay. Now then, we'll go back to our fan brush. Has a little bit of white paint on it. And let's just begin bringing all this together. There we go. Clean up the bottom. This is a nice way of just smoothing it out, bringing it together. Over in here, right down to the edge of the road. There, pull it right on down. See there? And we'll pick up a little touch of the dark paint, put right into here, like so, just to show where the road and everything comes together. Now then, let's have some fun. Shoot. Let's take a little black, maybe right in here. Let's just tap in a little doer like that, and we'll give him a little friend. Okay, maybe right over here we'll have another one. Wherever you want them, just drop in some little things. I'm going to take a liner brush today. Liner brush, a lot of paint thinner on it. And I'm going to go right into a little more of the paint thinner. Green, a little black, a little touch of the yellow. And let's just do something like this. Just like so. But now if you have trouble making your paint flow, as you've heard me say over and over, just add a little bit more of the paint thinner. That's all you need. Maybe up here, we'll put some nice things like so. Maybe this is an old yucca plant or something. But I'm just going back and forth between the blacks and the green, a little bit of yellow. Put some nice old arms sticking out here on him. There. And same thing here. We need some nice things going out here. There. A few right down here. See there? And a couple on this one over here, and we'll about have a finished painting. Don't want this one left out. Okay. And tell you what, as I close out here, let's just put a little tree right here. We need a little dead tree. And we'll call this one finished with this. There. I hope you've enjoyed this. This will give you an idea of how to make a very effective little desert scene. From all of us, happy painting, and God bless.